Hello everybody, this is Fernando for the latest Cryptids and Monsters video. Alright, let's go ahead and let's do another entry. This one from one of your past suggestions, but this one was actually just the last go around, so it wasn't that far back. It was maybe just 2 months or so back. It has to do with a creature or a cryptid that is yet again from the Philippines. Lots of actual cryptids there. It seems like they have a haven of cryptids and monsters located there, and it has to do with their version or the closest thing to, in this case, a Bigfoot. So it's interesting to come across this information too. It has to do with this. You're looking at it now. You can see definitely why it has the notion of being their version of the Bigfoot. It's called the Amomongo. And again, it is a creature they're located specifically in the Philippines. So let's go ahead, let's talk about all the info tied to this Bigfoot version of the Philippines. So what is this creature? Well, it's something that's humanoid-like, about the size of a human or a man, maybe just a little bit larger. But of course, its most distinct feature seems to be A, it is completely covered with hair, and then B, unlike the Bigfoots, this one seems to have very long nails, both on its hands and on its feet, almost as if they are part, let's say, just untrimmed type nails or claws, more along those lines. And then the way that this creature lives, it lives in certain areas of the Philippines, particularly in what's called as the haciendas, and those areas that are nearby forests, and then in one specific spot nearby a mountain called Mountain Canlaon. And the whole reason behind that notion is that it lived in that area in seclusion, maybe by itself or a good number of these Amongongos, and when that happened, something like they ran out of food or people started disturbing their nest area, whatever is the case, that's when they decided to come out. But yes, if you go there to the Philippines, specifically to certain portions called Sag-ang, La Castellana, and then Negros Occidental, those are the places that people report these things. By the way, they're not supposed to be very nice. They're kind of vicious. Not necessarily towards humans per se, like they do attack humans, but it seems to be more along the lines of like an animal attacking, protecting its territory rather than, let's say, it hunting humans. Because here's some examples of what occurred. There were two people there, one by name Elias Galvez and another one named Salvador Aguilar. They reported, and they seem to be the most recent ones to this. By the way, another interesting thing about this Amomongo is all these reports seem to be very recent, at least in terms of cryptid world. In this case, this happened on June 9th, back in 2008. But yes, these two guys, Elias and Salvador, they stated to the police and to the mayor of that town, a guy by the name of Alberto Nicor, that they were attacked by quote-unquote a hairy creature with long nails. Not just on June 9th, but also on June 10th. The way they described it was there they were, just walking around, I guess, some kind of road or doing some kind of work when they were attacked savagely, looks like, by this creature, and they both suffered some kind of scratches from them, particularly Salvador Aguilar. He was taken to an emergency clinic there called La Castellana, and when he was there, they found that he had all these scratches throughout different parts of his body. The other guy, Elias Galvez, he was also attacked, but he seemed to suffer a little bit less from it. But otherwise, yes, that is one of the more recent, the first ones actually, of this creature attack. But most notably, and again, I was mentioning that it seems like humans seem to be attacked more as an after effect. Instead, the more notable situations are the livestock. This creature, again, tying into the fact that maybe it's roaming out of its nest area because it has to. There's no longer any food, or humans are interacting to it now, but it seems to attack livestock a lot. In fact, people have found chickens, they have found goats, they have found other types of livestock, cows, whatever is the case, where they have been basically disemboweled, like their entire stomachs ripped out and their intestines eaten. And the way that other people state, like they've seen these creatures do it, like they'll see them run about, these Amon Ongos run about, and then they'll be either scared scared away, like the humans will, naturally just run away as quickly as they can, or in other cases, the actual cryptids themselves will just run off. Either way, though, they have seen these creatures. Others have described it as being more on the lines of like a giant monkey, is another description for them. And then another one is something along the lines of, not really close to which, but some people presume that it could be an aswang as well, but that's also a stretch. That was another cryptid that I talked about a while back involving that particular area too. But yes, for a little while there, residents were vigilant on this creature, this Amomongo, attacking throughout multiple parts there, so much so that they have become very vigilant at night. The police there have even advised the area to report at first sighting of this creature, to report immediately to the police. Even the police chief has been involved, telling them that any such reports, anything that occurs, that they will try to take care of it as quickly as possible. Others eventually came forward with more evidence. Some of the city folks there, involving their attacks, like they had some scratches on their face, also on their back, and also on their hands. But again, nobody in terms of a report of being eaten, killed, anything along those lines. So it goes to show that this creature does seem to have some limits from it. But yes, otherwise, the Amomongo is the whole notion is it's somewhere in that vicinity, only because it lives in, if you want to go by this belief, by the foot of Mount Canleon, and because of it being so close by, somehow it's either running out of food in that location, or people are just encroaching on its territory, and that's why it has to resort to what it does. But that's it. That's pretty much all the information tied to this creature, this Bigfoot version there of the Philippines. It'll be interesting to see if there's even more further attacks as people start moving closer and closer to its territory. Also, it's interesting to realize that this creature seems to have some kind of intelligence, because like whenever the attacks became more frequent, there was a preponderance of their version of what are called village guards or paramilitary that were placed around certain parts of villages. But this creature knows about this, or is intelligent enough to realize that it doesn't want to mess with those people with the big guns, and so it has been able to avoid them. So that really seemed interesting too. Unlike, let's say, a mindless creature that would just charge forward to any human, it seems to know exactly which ones to avoid, and that has made its success within that location to this day. No video footage or any kind of like strong photographic evidence yet along those lines, but who knows, maybe one of these days there will be something put forth when it comes to the evidence of this Amomongo. So if anyone has any more information, yet another cryptid there again in the Philippines, please post those comments below. Anybody there from the Philippines? Again, y'all seem to have a lot of the cryptids there, so if there's this one, the new one, that anyone has any more info on, experience, family members that have seen anything along those lines, please post those comments below. That'd be great to hear. The only thing I would mention is this Amomongo, its word actually seems to derive from something called the Hiligaynon culture, and that seems to imply that it means either ape or monkey. So again, tying into the notion of it being like almost like a gigantic monkey or a gigantic Bigfoot as well. Alright everybody, thanks again as always. Take care.